Oi, oi, guys. It's Friday morning. Up and at 'em, out here doing it. It is a warm one. The current bun is large and hot. But hey, you know, like I said before, we didn't have the sun. We wouldn't have the growth for it. We wouldn't have life. So, thank God for the sun. But I hope everybody's having a good weekend, or starting off. Some of you may be off work right now. Some of you might be watching this at the weekend. I don't know, but I hope you're having a good one. Whatever that may be, or whatever day you may be watching this. And, oh, hang on. We've got the baby birds up here. Hold up a minute. Red-headed crane. All on his lonesome. I wonder what where's the, normally the parents are always around. And they're normally having a go at you. I don't know where they are. Don't see them around. Sometimes they can get hit by cars, which is a shame. You don't really see them too much, but whenever I see a little one like that and then there's the parents not around, I'm always like, because they don't really abandon their young, I don't think. Not those red-headed cranes. They're huge, by the way. The adult ones stand really tall. And I walked past them, I walked past a group of them the other week up the top by the school there once. And they had babies. And I tell you what, that adult came towards me like, if you come near me, I'm going to make a shish kebab out of you, because their beak is bloody hard and long, and yeah, you don't really want to get hit by it. So I gave a wide berth to that bird, let me tell you. I was like, hey, hold up, boy. Go over here. There, don't peck me, please. Put a hole in me. But anyway, as you can see, I've got new glasses on, oi. And you can probably, see yourself in them, but oh well. Because I got mirrored ones, and then when I just dropped a shot just now, and I thought, oh no, I could see myself in them. Or I could see my phone in them, I should say. I wanted to talk about anger a little bit today. A little bit about anger. I've had a good bit of that popping off myself. But I'm in a better position now to where I can sit and I can work with it. I have an awareness now with it. And that was one of the biggest things, or the biggest steps for you to make towards your anger, is having an awareness of it. Having an awareness of when it's happening, having an awareness within the body, because the body will let you know. The body will tell you that something's going on here. Sometimes they can react before the bloody mind does, even though the mind's reacted already, otherwise you wouldn't have the body doing the thing that it's doing. But you may not catch it, but the body will. And the body will react to whatever the mind is telling it. So that awareness, kicking in that awareness and being aware of that anger is going to be your number one defense. And then the space and the breathing and putting the gap in between that. And then there's tricks like thinking about the other person if it involves a person and where they may be getting it from, and looking at them as pity. And so there's certain things you can do with the anger. But it's, when you get there, it's not a fun thing. I'll give you a little bit of a background of mine. When I was around, I don't know, I think it was something about the age of 5 till I was 16, I was bullied. And I was bullied quite badly. I didn't think it was that bad until I started really talking about it. I knew it was bad, but not to the degree that it was. And then started to realise through my own therapy with my therapist that I have now, when she turned around and looked at me when we was going through the process of talking about it, still comes up in conversation because it's quite loud. Excuse me. But she turned around when we were talking about it, and she's like, you got PTSD. because I get triggered like really easy. Not so much now, like I say. Yes, there are those 0 to 60 moments where I can go to rage pretty damn quick, which is a little bit different than anger, but the anger can go into rage. So I have to be a little bit careful of that. That's why I say using the different tools. Now with me, as I got through bullying, it could go either way. You could turn into the bully, which happens a lot, or you can be one of those that cower, says nothing, always backing up. I have a little bit of that because I don't like confrontation too much, even though I handle that way better as well now. The old me, no. Confrontation, no. Only one way to handle confrontation, right? Anger, because that's what I knew. But when it comes down to my anger, the bullying sent me in a different direction. I didn't become that guy that backed up and carried away. I didn't become that guy. I become the guy that says, okay, now I'm going to stand up. And that's not good either. Because it really can take over. It really does take over the whole. I'll put it this way, I was talking to my wife about it last night actually. And because I've been presented with some situations and that are a bit, don't know if I like that. And I was telling her last night because she's like, you know, because there's been a couple of times when my anger's been going and it's something outside of the family, and especially when I met my wife, shit, that was a whole different ball game. Now I'm in a country I don't know. Add that on top of everything else. Holy shit. So I was a little bit nuts. And my wife kept on saying, you get arrested. You get arrested. You can't do that here. You go to jail. And last night, she said it to me last night. And I'm like, to tell you the truth, it's the furthest thing away from your freaking mind when you go to that rage. And the people that have that will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's an area you go to and you only got one thing on your mind. And it just takes completely over. And I do not like that part of me at all. Be aware of the things that can get you there quick. Again, that awareness. I don't like being taken advantage of. I don't like being taken for what we call a mug. It can happen. It can happen. Do you trust early? Do you trust someone really early maybe? Or do you give them the all? Or do you, you know, even in relationships, if you're giving, you know, I'm talking about not friendship relationships, I'm talking about, you know, intimate relationships. If you're going in, ploughing in, and you're giving it all because, you know, that's what you do, don't mean it's right, don't mean it's wrong. But that other person takes advantage and doesn't give it all their all, if that makes sense, then what are you going to do? You're going to go into anger. You're going to start getting angry about it. You start getting frustrated, start getting angry. You're giving more than what they're giving, and it's going to start getting naughty. Start addressing those things before they happen, and then the anger won't kick in. Talk, communicate. Yeah? Talking and communication opens things up. When you bottle things up and you hold them on your shoulders, the anger kicks in. And when the anger kicks in, sometimes it's like a runaway train. 0 to 60 real quick. So what things make you angry? Think about the things that can get you there. Because if ever those things are coming up, be aware of they may be coming up. Or you may be approaching a situation that has that. Now you can either face that situation with the awareness that it's there and be able to work on the anger or work on the frustration, because frustration could turn the anger to turn to rage. Or do you not go? Do you avoid it? Because sometimes walking away is the best thing to do. I walk away a lot. I walk away a lot now. Because I know that if I engage, that's not good for me. Certainly not good for the other person or the other situation. You don't need me raging, bulling out right in the bloody middle of a situation. Ain't gonna look good. We change hands. So remember, hang on, change hands here a minute. You can do something about it as an awareness. And use your breath. Breathe into it. Calm yourself down. Get yourself in a state where you feel calmer and your heart ain't racing, because all that adds up to add to that rage and add to that anger. And that ain't worth it. It'll take over. Good morning.
Good morning.
So just get ready. Get ready for those situations, because it's better to catch them. It's much better to catch them and walk away. It's much better to know that this person is saying things that are starting to hurt you and walk away. I tell you, I'm not kidding. When you get taken for granted of, or as I say, get taken for a mug, that can hurt. That can really twist the screw. Especially if there's certain things that you may have done, and then you have the belief system that they got away with it. Take it as a win. Take it as a win as well. Because you can't reel the thing back in. It's not worth it. You try and reel that thing back in, and where are you gonna go? You're gonna end up being in anger. You're gonna end up being in that rage again. And that really ain't worth it. Sometimes it's better to just accept and cut that tie. Sometimes it's better to accept and learn and think, I won't go that direction again. I'm gonna step back, give space and breathe a little bit and figure this one out and look at it. And slow it down instead of jumping in. These are all things that you can learn from that situation. So don't look at it, all of it, as a bad thing. Yes, there was something that started off, there was something there that got you hurt, but then look at it and say, is there something, can I change any of it? If you can't, then accept it. Otherwise you're going to be sitting there in your anger. And when you sit there in your anger, and that just keeps ticking, it's not a good thing for you, because you don't let it go. It just sits. And then what happens? You let it go on your family, you let it go on your friends. Why? It's not their fault. It's your fault for holding on and then throwing it at them, but it's not their fault. Breathe. Stay that course, guys. I hope everybody has a great weekend, or a great rest of your day, or whatever it may be that you saw this. Keep that calmness. Keep that breath going. Stay that course. Namaste.